In this video, we're going to cover data exploration using Bauplan and Claude Code. We'll cover the IDE environment and Bauplan skill plugins for Claude, the initial exploration of target tables, checking for anomalies in the target tables, and then writing a summary of our exploration findings. The first thing I want to do is bring your attention to the environment. In our right side terminal, we've got Claude Code. And in our browser, we have a UV init project set up along with a couple other artifacts. Specifically, we have CLAUDE.md downloaded from the Bauplan GitHub repo. I also have a query text that I've used to build a couple queries that I'm going to use to get our data exploration going today. One thing you can also do is download the Bauplan skills via the Anthropic marketplace. You go to the Bauplan skills GitHub and copy the Anthropic marketplace code here. That will then allow you to put that directly into Claude Code. We can then go over to Claude Code and check it via the plugins command. It is going to be located in the installed section, and we can see here that the Bauplan skills have been enabled. We're now ready to get working. I'll go over to my query text and I'll grab the prompt that I've put together to start our data exploration. You'll see here, I just tell it to do only a read. The Bauplan skill file also helps with that. In fact, it's going to be asking me, do I want to use the Bauplan Explore data? I'll say yes to that. I do offer it the table very specifically and any other additional tables, but we're going to look at just the one table I created through a previous safe ingestion session. So you can see here, it created a Data Explorer Python file. This is an artifact we can use again in the future for any other data exploration. If we take a look at the actual artifact, you'll see it's using the Bauplan SDK along with polars, and it is essentially just starting the namespace discovery phase. This will get updated in future phases we do in this exploration session. We'll tell Claude to go ahead and run the Data Explorer Python file. You're going to notice that it's going to hit an error here. There's just a naming convention issue in the script. It needs to update from namespace to name, and it will offer this. Claude's going to fix this for us. We'll say yes to that fix, and then we'll tell it to go ahead and run it again. From here, we have another error where we just need to update the way the tables are being updated in the script. We'll say yes to this. You'll notice that the Data Explorer artifact is getting updated. Let's run it again. Great, so the first phase is complete, and now it is making another update to the Data Explorer Python. Let's just take a quick look at what it is doing. We are going to add the get data meta table. It's going to sample from the rows, and it's going to print the first few rows for better visibility. All right, let's have Claude run that file. So it's going to now run the updated Data Explorer. Now that we have phase one out of the way, it's going to get a little bit deeper into reading through my target table. Phase two is now complete, and the schema and sample data has been retrieved. Claude is offering some semantics here. You can see that it says one row per show watch interaction. It's containing show metadata, user info. It's talking about the table that we're having it explore. And it also is looking at key columns. There's a created at, user ID, show ID. Really useful stuff here when we're just trying to understand the schema of the target table. And it also notes that phase three is going to profile and detect anomalies. From here, it is going to add quite a bit to our Data Explorer file. You'll see that it is adding a number of queries to the table. It's going through, it's casting the counts, it's getting min and max, basically digging deep into each of these to look for anomalies in each of the columns. You can also see just how much has been added overall to the Data Explorer file on the left. We're going to have it run this whole updated file here, and a little bit of an error code. It's going to fix the code that we need in the polars code to be able to properly look at the min and row counts. And it's going to also update the way it is looking at the null rate in the data frame as well. Then it's going to make some updates to the code for the distinct users and shows. We'll have the run it again after those fixes. We've got one more fix it needs to do in the polars code still, which again is just super convenient that Claude's handling this. And then finally, we'll go ahead and run this Python file one more time for the data exploration. Fantastic. Phase three is completed. We see the number of rows. It gives us a time range. It tells us the number of nulls, the cardinality, surprises. There's not a lot of distinction in this data, this table that was made. Gets into the watch duration. It's a healthy distribution, no anomalies. And then it looks at geographic data that's in the table as well. And it just notes that the 9 states are evenly distributed. There's no outliers and that the Eastern time zone dominates. It's just the way that the data kind of works. So no anomalies detected. And it's proceeding to phase 4, where we're going to actually write a summary markdown for this data exploration. For this is going to add just a little bit more to the Data Explorer Python at the very end. It is going to have it open a summary MD and write to it. And then it's going to add the summary into that file. So let's go ahead and run that. Great, phase 4 is complete. The summary has been compiled and written to the summary MD. Let's display the final report. So as you can see here, the deliverables, a Data Explorer Python file. It's a final exploration script with all 4 phases: discovery, schema, profiling, and summary. And then a summary MD file, which you can see here, is structured report with table semantics, data quality, observations, and join candidates. It has key findings in the streaming data test table that we pointed it to: the number of records, the time range, the content, the quality, the 0 nulls, the geography, and the statuses, just some basic statistics over the columns. And then from an inference standpoint, this is a test sample data set. It's not production scale. The use case likely involves testing streaming analytics pipelines or demonstrating watch behavior analysis. It's just a great example of how Bauplan and agents can work together to safely read the tables you have in production and to get you to the next step in your data engineering process.